Good morning, team. We recently started reading Getting Things Done, The Art of Stress-Free Productivity by David Allen. I have to tell you guys, if you're reading along with me, I got through the first chapter and I felt anything but stress-free. Instead, what I felt or what I was able to identify is I have lots of open loops in my life. I have lots of things in my inbox, both physical and in email. And more importantly, I have lots of things that I'm carrying in my mind. So, again, as we started the book, it does not feel stress free. But what I understand is that I really have to get control over these things so that we can get to our ultimate goal. What I did is lean into the mind like water analogy. So David Allen speaks of this in the book, and he talks about water. And when you throw a pebble into a still pond of water, what exactly happens? How does the water respond? Well, the water always responds appropriately with the right amount of force and with the right amount of movement, and then it returns back to still. So that's the goal. That's the analogy that I'm going to lean on as we work through these things that are in our mental inboxes and get them into a system outside of our outside of our minds. What we want to do is make sure that we always react appropriately, that we not overreact or underreact, but we're able to react and control things exactly as they should be. So, what immediate action steps can we take now? The first thing coming out of the book is to identify our tools that we will use to manage these things. They mentioned inboxes, physical trays. We also talked about written lists, and we've also talked about electronic formats, whether they're electronic notes or calendars or, paper calendars. You have to determine what systems you're going to use, what buckets you're going to use to collect these things that we're getting out of our head. And you have to select buckets that are going to work for you. Everyone's are going to be a little different. The book points out to try to have as many buckets as you need to be effective, but not too many buckets. Imagine if we have too many buckets, most of our time will be managing the buckets and not the things within the bucket. The next thing you have to do is get everything out of your head, everything out of your other inboxes, and you've got to go into the bucket. And once we get from there, we're going to dig into what he calls the bottom up approach. And I've been in this spot many times. The time when you feel like you have big goals, big visions, big things you want to plan, but you can't do them because you're so weighted by all the stuff that's sitting in your inbox with no resolution. All the open loops, all the things that are in your head that are preventing you from higher level thought. So we're going to work bottom up so that we can have a sense of freedom, so we can allow our mind to be free and allow us to feel our inspiration so we can reach and aspire to those bigger goals we've all set out to. Work on your 2 action steps today, pick your tools, get it out of your head, and then we'll continue to move forward through the book. Thank you guys. You go out and have a great day and you be great.